Let's talk about the Lakers' big prize, signing LeBron James. Of course, a no-brainer for Magic Johnson. But some of the acquisitions they have made since have been not what everyone expected. The latest addition, Michael Beasley, who, of course, spent last season with the Knicks. Brian, you pointed out on Twitter when that signing happened that Bees and LeBron have, of course, played together in Miami. But what was your note about that?
Well, I was just saying that people are criticizing the Lakers, and maybe rightfully so, for signing guys who are not known as maybe the most cerebral players. LeBron played with a guy who forgot to score. It's not like it's the first time LeBron's going to have played with, guys who don't always.
What was it that Bees said in the interview at the beginning of last season or something? That we're only using 10% of his 10% of his 10% of his brain power or something?
I don't know.
Maybe he's more cerebral than everybody.
I kind of feel like judging the Lakers' moves right now is still a little bit half-baked, so to speak, because we really don't know what they're going to be in the spring. All these guys that they signed are movable in trades. We have no idea how the league's going to play out. I do not look at this team and see this as a team that will be successful in the postseason, because I don't think that they have guys who are necessarily built for the postseason. That said, LeBron is so incredible of a player, and let's not be caught underestimating how he can lift teammates.
What was your Eric Spoelstra note? You still haven't said it.
Well, Eric Spoelstra basically benched Michael Beasley because he couldn't trust him on defense. If you go back and look, he got decent playing time during the regular season, actually averaged a decent amount of points, he always does. But again, for that Heat team, he couldn't play him. He couldn't play him because he couldn't follow the defensive game plan. Now, that was 5 years ago. I wouldn't say that Bees necessarily has changed his reputation, but he is a little bit older. But these are the types of players that they have brought. I mean, in Game 7, Dave and I were there. When the Pacers played the Cavs in Game 7, the second half, Lance Stephenson was nowhere to be found on the court. And that was because, now not every game's Game 7, but that was because when it mattered, Nate McMillan couldn't trust Lance Stephenson out there. And so you add players like that and you say, boy, is this a team that's designed to be successful in the postseason?
Despite that rotation that occurred with Spo and Beasley, I spoke to someone on LeBron's camp back in January when perhaps the Cavs are going to be looking at people in February at the trade deadline. And that was one of the names brought up to me that, hey, it'd be really nice if New York is willing to part with him. And I did my homework and kind of...
Turns out they were willing to part with him.
Well, just not at that time. But listen, the best part about this deal is that it's a one-year deal and that they're not messing up their flexibility for summer of 2019. And then beyond that, LeBron's mentality, I think at this point, 15 years in, and perhaps it's hubris, but it's get me talent, and if I have talent, I can work with it.
No, that's true.
And no one is questioning Michael Beasley's
I will say this, they've, as we saw with their roster a few seconds ago, the way they've put this team together, I don't see how LeBron's not playing center.
Well, this is right. So this was another news story that's been floating around the past couple of days, this idea of the death lineup with LeBron at center. Now, he, of course, played a little center now and again.
Sure he did.
Cleveland, it's not would be the first time we've ever seen LeBron at center.
But he hates defending center. He'll do it, but then he'll complain about it the whole way because he doesn't like defending bigger players because it wears him out.
By the way, no one does. Kevin Love didn't like playing center. I mean,
that's true. But I just want, it's strange that LeBron would sort of sign up for that, knowing how much he doesn't enjoy it, especially over the course of a long season. So I don't know. We're seeing changes, and maybe LeBron needed changes. Maybe the changes will benefit him, but it's certainly, let's put it this way. If the Cavs came to LeBron when they made their pitch on July 1st and said, LeBron, our plan is to sign Lance Stephenson and Michael Beasley, I can't believe that would have been a pitch to him that would have been like, well, you know what? I think I'll stay.
This is
and then
what I need.
So it's a little bit strange. Doesn't mean it's wrong. I'm just scratching my head a little bit in July.
One thing I just want to say, far too often we turn these players into caricatures of themselves.
Yes.
Michael Beasley, because of various things that have added to his reputation, some goofball interviews and stuff like that, we don't look at him like a human or a basketball player. We look at him like something beyond that. If we actually get down to what he can do, and he can score off the dribble, and he's long, and he's a lefty, and he's 6'9", and can kind of play both ends when motivated, then it's a good signing. And so perhaps let's look at him like that. Team,
and then they say goodbye. He had a couple of shifts with the Heat, but generally they play for him.
You say goodbye, LeBron said hello. Beatles week on the jump.
I was going to say. The good thing about this is we'll get to find out what happens. It's all going to play out in front of us.